Hey Maisies, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to another video. Today I am going to be talking about my first time experience on a lot of different things. Now let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. If you're new, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, please make sure you like it, share it with a family, friend, share it with your cousin, your aunt, whoever. Share it. And if you've got something to say, leave a comment down below. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get into this. First question: what is the first app that you check in the morning and the thing you do? Well, the first app that I check, or the first app that I turn off in the morning, is my alarm. And then immediately after that, I grab my tablet and I get into the Bible app and I do my morning devotion. First foreign vacation. The first foreign vacation that I've been on was maybe South Africa. I think it was a trip to South Africa. I mean, if you live in Zimbabwe, generally that's pretty much one of the first places that you're gonna go to that's outside your country. But my favorite South African vacation was when my sister and I went to Tanin. That was really nice. That was super nice. First makeup item. I think my first makeup item was maybe a lip gloss. A lip gloss or an eyeliner. I think an eyeliner, because I was actually never really a gloss girl. I still am not a gloss girl. So I think the first makeup item that I actually owned was a black eyeliner. And boy, did I use that eyeliner. When was I allowed to start wearing makeup? There was never really a ban on makeup in my family. I just generally really just started wearing makeup or started wearing eyeliner in high school. And yeah, the only people that actually gave me flack for that was probably a school teacher or something, but my parents were totally cool with it. So yeah, that's that on that. First time that I got into trouble at home or at school. I definitely can't remember the first time that I got into trouble at home. First time that I got into serious trouble. I was generally a good kid, so I cannot remember a time that I got into serious trouble at home. But the first time I got into trouble at school was probably in high school. Yeah, I know, that's crazy. It was probably in high school, in like lower 6. The senior lady didn't like the fact that I had my tongue pierced, and I think I was a deputy head girl prefect at that time, and she didn't approve. She also didn't approve of me wearing black eyeliner and having my tongue pierced. So I always used to get into a lot of trouble with her. We always had run-ins, like literally every time I'd walk across her in the hall, just so that she would leave me alone. I'd sort of stick my tongue out to show her that I'm not wearing it, even though I probably was wearing it a few seconds prior to that. But yeah. Now I joined YouTube in, I don't know when. I will check and then I'll probably write it down below here. But I joined YouTube a while back, and my first subscription, or the first person I subscribed to, I don't know. I have no idea. Again, I will check, but I'm sure it was probably a musician or something like that. Yeah, I think so. Maybe a makeup channel, but I don't think so. Most likely it was a musician or something along those lines. First car experience. Now the first car experience, well, that's random. First car that I owned. First car that I drove. The first car that I drove. The first time I experienced driving a car, because I don't know what my first car experience was. I was probably a baby. The day I came back from the hospital, that was probably my first car experience. But the first time I drove a car, I was 15 turning 16. My sister took me to the parking lot for the primary school that was like around the corner from our house. And she was like, okay, dude, let's do this. We might as well teach you how to drive right. It was a Nissan 1-ton truck. Yeah, my first car I drove was a truck. And yeah, it was awesome. It wasn't scary. It was a bit nerve-wracking, but yeah, I had a good teacher. So that was my first car experience. First car that belonged to me was a Mitsubishi Lancer. And yeah, I drove that car for a while. Then the first car that I bought by myself was a VW Golf. So yeah, those are my first car experiences. First solo long distance trip. The first solo long distance trip I did was probably a drive to, what's further? Vumba or Kwekwe? I think Vumba is further, I think. But between those two, between driving to Vumba and driving to Kwekwe, and on one of those I nearly lost my life. So yeah, that's another story for another day. But yeah, driving solo on the highway is not fun. It's not nice, especially on some highways. Ugh, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But sometimes you just have to. Now we get into the juicy bits, don't we? The first date I ever went on. The first date I ever went on, I went to St. Elmo's. We had this, I don't know if it's still around. We had a pizza place, a pizzeria, something like that. Is that the first date that I went to? Yeah, I think that was the first date that I went on. We went to St. Elmo's and we had pizza. Yeah, I put a lot of chili on my pizza. I was really nervous. I really liked this guy. I really liked him. I think I was in high school and he asked me out over the holidays and I'm like, yes, going on a date. And it wasn't one of those group dates. Back in high school, you'd go on group dates, him and a bunch of his friends, you and a bunch of your friends, or if you guys had mutual friends, and then y'all would be like 10, 12, 14, and then you'd all go on a date. But no, it was just me and him, and it was so exciting and nerve-wracking. It was definitely nerve-wracking. We went to St. Elmo's and yeah, we ordered some pizza. I think we got a half and half of what he liked, half of what I liked. And I remember they had this chili in oil, like chili in oil, and I sprinkled a little bit of a lot of that onto my pizza, and I had a soft drink as well. I think it was a Fanta. It must have been a Fanta or a Sprite, something like that. And when you have chili and then you aggravate it with something fizzy, it was not cute, people. It was not cute. My tongue was on fire, my mouth was on fire, but I couldn't really, and I think I had spread it all over my pizza, like all over the entire pizza. So yeah, it was awful. I had to suck in the burn and everything because I wasn't about to be choking on my first solo date. No ways, that wasn't about to happen. But yeah, yeah, those were some crazy and wild, sad times. My first boyfriend. I had my first boyfriend post high school. Well, he's the one that I consider boyfriend. Yes, I did not even date. I hung out with dudes during high school and stuff, but for me, it was never really official. So the guy that I do consider as the first boyfriend that I had him just a little bit after high school. It was a mess. He was a mess. But yeah, it lasted for I think a year or something like that. And it was long distance because he wasn't from Zim, so he had to go back to wherever it is that he came from. My first kiss. Now I had my first kiss when I was in high school. I think I was in like form 5 or 6, and it was with this guy. He was my friend-ish, and then we were sitting in class, we were bored, and my best friend at that time, she was like, yo dude, you say you've never kissed a guy before, right? Let's call that guy and let him be your first kiss. I'm like, okay, sure. Why not? I mean, he was cute and he did seem to have his hygiene on lock. So yeah, he came over to my desk, he sat across the desk and we kissed. We leaned into each other and we kissed, and it was soft. I do remember that it was soft because I was expecting it to be gross and spitty, but he was a gentleman, so it was soft, and it was pretty much just it was just the first kiss. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was an okay kiss. Yeah. First forever heartbreak. I think my first forever heartbreak actually didn't have anything to do with a romantic relationship. It was actually when I was about 6 or 7 years old, and I had this best friend at the time. Her name was Anna, and she was from Brazil. Yeah, she was Brazilian. So they were in Zim for a while. I think we went to well, of course, we went to the same primary school. I don't know if we were friends before that, but she's the first friend that I actually remember having, and we were so close, and like I could wander off and land at their house and it wouldn't be a big deal. She was like a sister friend, and we always got up to the worst kind of things. And then one day she just upped and left. Her family just upped and went, and that was really, really heartbreaking. It broke my heart. I remember I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried so bad, because also coincidentally at that time my favorite cousin also they moved out of the country as well. So I'm the 6-7-year-old and all my besties are leaving, and I kept asking my mom, why is everybody leaving me? It was really sad. I do remember that I cried. I remember, I think she boarded on a Saturday because the next day was a Sunday at church, and I remember I was out of it. My face was swollen from all the crying. I just was lying on my mom's lap the whole time. People asking, is she okay? Is she sick? And all that. My mom had to explain, no, her best friend just left, and all this and all that. It really broke my heart. It really broke my young heart. And thinking about it now actually makes me a bit sad, but it really, really did break my heart. I think that was my first forever heartbreak, because up until now, I still miss her. I still remember all the good stuff that we got to, all the bad stuff that we got down to. But she was my best friend. She was like my soulmate, and I really miss her. First piercing and tattoo. First piercing that I got was a frontal lobe piercing. I think pretty much everybody gets this as their first piercing. That was the first piercing that I got. I have talked about my piercings as well. I have a video explaining the stories behind all 10 of my piercings. So if you find time after this, you can get into that video as well. So nothing special here on the first piercing thing. Tattoo, I don't have any tattoos yet, so I will get back to you on this one, on the whole first tattoo thing. First foreign language. Well, the only foreign language that I know is French. Hence the Maison de Moitois. Hence the only foreign language that I know is French. I know some people are going to be like, oh, but English is a foreign language. Yes, it is, but no, it's not, because it's also the official language of our country. It's the language that we all grew up learning. My first name is English. So I don't really consider that a foreign language. So I don't know if you do. I guess English would be the first foreign language, but no, for me, the first foreign language that I learned was French. And how I actually got down to learning French and falling in love with French was my sister went to a high school where they did French as a subject, and she used to use me as practice ground. Now, me being the overachiever, being the little smarty pants that I am, I remember everything that she taught me. We'd go through the textbooks together and everything. I would quiz her, she would quiz me, and that's how French got stuck on my tongue. That's how I became appreciative of the French language. And I wouldn't say I'm fluent in French, but I can hold a conversation. I think I can travel to France if they don't speak too fast. I can converse my way through things. So that is my first foreign language, first and only. I did try a little bit of Spanish. Spanish is fun. But the only Spanish that I know of, to be honest, is the Spanish that I learned off of Sesame Street when I was a kid. So it's the basics, the me gustas, the hola, the buenos. Okay, I'm not going to say anything else, but that's it on languages. the first job that I ever had was probably doing some dingy, dirty work for Charlene. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the first job that I ever held, first formal job. I had it pretty much post high school. Yeah. What did I do in my first job post high school? I don't know. I just did things for Charlene. Like whenever she needed, I pretty much was her assistant. Whatever she needed me to do, I would do. Yeah, that's it. I don't remember much. I do remember getting paid. I remember she paid me $40 a week, something like that. Yeah, she paid me $40 a week. I love that job, yo. Can I be assistant again? I could use $40 a week. Now here's something a little bit outside of my alley. My first cooking experience. I was in grade school, maybe. Yeah, because it couldn't have been when I was in high school because I was a boarder. So I was in grade school, and in primary school, I'm sure I was like grade 6 or grade 7. My mom was like, let me teach you how to cook sadza. You know, sadza, the staple food of Zim. Cool. And no, in fact, what she did was she literally dumped the ingredients in front of me. She's like, today you're going to cook us sadza. I'm like, okay. Alright, so I gathered up what I remembered from the times that I would watch everybody else cooking, and I let the water boil. As soon as the water boiled, as soon as the water boiled, I mixed a bit of mealie meal with cold water, the whole paste, put it in the pot with the boiling water, stirred it up a bit, and I remember the instant it started boiling, I added more mealie meal on top. Fuck up more mealie meal. I added so much more mealie meal until it was solid. Beat it. In Shona we call it kumona. So, stirred it until it was a nice thick consistency. Closed the lid and turned off the stove. I think I was done in like 10 minutes. Like as soon as the water started boiling, I was done, So yeah. Closed the lid. I didn't even let it simmer or anything like that. I closed the lid, switched off the stove. And then when it came to supper time, my mom was the whole time, hey, what is this? Oh my god, this is so terrible. What is this? This is so terrible, blah blah blah. But my daddy being the gentleman that he is, actually downed his whole portion. He was like, what, it's not that bad. It's okay. My mom was complaining. Hey, I'm like, dude, you never really taught me how to cook. You just dumped it in front of me, and I did what I remembered. She was like, did it even boil? Did it even simmer? I'm like, yeah, it boiled. And I was proud of myself. The fact that my dad was eating it gave it a stamp of approval. So I was proud of myself. It was a bit nasty, but it was doable. It is what it is. And yes. And then I just like to add in my first baking experience because I just discovered that I can bake. I mean, I'm not she's Zumbo or Adrienne Zumbo or anything like that, but this one day I was like, you know what, there's flour, there's what, there's what. I mixed it all, I googled a recipe, mixed it all together, baked, and my cupcakes came out so nice, so nice. So now I'm on this whole baking, and that's not so long ago, I'm on this whole baking tip because I pretty much growing up was convinced. I don't know why I was convinced that I couldn't bake. I don't know why I strongly believed that I couldn't bake, but I just did, and so I never tried to. And then when I did try to bake, it came out really, really good. I was shocked. I was really shocked. But yeah, that is that on that. And so, guys and girls, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for going with me through my first time experiences of different things. Some of them were wow, some of them were just, but it is what it is. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you gave it a thumbs up. I hope you remembered to subscribe. I hope you remember to share this video with any of your friends, family, and also leave a comment down below if there is something that you'd like to communicate with me. But until the next video, guys, stay sane and stay safe. Bye.